What?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky and I'm back in the studio with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins' team.
So good to be here back in the studio,
yeah.
Dave and Jess.
Yep.
I'm just keen to catch up, you know?
Yeah.
Away from the prying eyes of all those listeners who came to the live shows, which was really nice.
Well, let me just stop you right there, Matt. Before you and Jess reminisce about the terrible times we've had over the last 4 weekends, I have to tell you...
Such good times.
Such good times.
Oh, man, so good. We'll talk about it in just 1 second after I tell you that this week's episode is brought to you by Tipsy Elves.
Tiny little elves that have had a little bit too much sherry.
Dave?
I don't know why I went for sherry.
A little bit too much Chambord.
Dave, is this a weird thing about you getting drunk and accidentally donating some money to the podcast and now trying to get your money's worth?
Yeah, that's right. I have to try and promote something that I've done. I got drunk and I'm a small man. Now, tipsyelves.com is a crazy clothing website that has crazily decided to sponsor this episode of the podcast.
Kindly.
Kindly, sorry about that. Well, I'm going off script already. It's a really cool website that has like ugly Christmas sweaters and crazy patriotic American clothes and loud Hawaiian t-shirts and crazy shorts. It's my bag. It's my jam.
So
you
good.
are a real patriotic American. I'm glad you finally found someone who can
And
clothe
you are an ugly Christmas sweater as well.
Look,
You are the human equivalent of an ugly Christmas
What was your
sweater.
Christmas name again? You were the festive
boy. Because I love
You're an ugly festive boy.
I love bright shirts. I love crazy sweaters. And when this company came along and said, "Yeah, we'd like you to talk about us on the show," I was like, "Yes, please."
Oh, it's so awesome. You've got a couple of wicked shirts from them too.
Yeah, they sent out some swag.
Yep.
I'm using that term correctly.
Yep. Swag. We got
Trying
swag.
to connect with the 16 to 20-year-old demographic.
I think that's a waltzing Matilda reference, isn't it?
Anyway, these guys they're really cool. They sent us out some clothing to wear. Jess, you got some sweet pants.
I've got some good looking comfies.
I'm looking forward to getting to show people how we look sitting here right now.
Yeah. I don't know why we decided to wear the clothes for the recording, but we did.
I'm very
It felt
comfortable.
right.
Yeah.
It felt right. And you two...
Especially because Jess got 2 pairs of pants.
Yeah, I'm wearing both. Leggings and pants.
And if you want to have matching pants with Jess and imagine that, my matching shirt, Jess's matching pants, and Matt, you can just put on a fake beard if you don't look like Matt. Head over to tipsyelves.com. Check out the website. Some crazy stuff there. Absolutely love it. And if you use the code DOGOON, capital letter on the each of the first letters of the words, the D, the G, the O, you get 20% off any item. 20 as a percentage, 20 as a fraction, 1/5.
That's pretty good.
Really good.
That's some good math.
This feels like a really good opportunity if you feel like you're crazy, as Dave said.
Yeah, he says
and
crazy
you just
so many times.
And you just want to show people how crazy you are by wearing slightly weird clothes. That is wild, Dave. I'm glad to be on this ride with you.
That's what I do every day.
My head is spinning.
Slow down, Dave.
Oh my God, look at him. He's wearing a funky shirt. He's gone crazy.
Yeah, they're not, it's not crazy. It's just fun.
What if I told you that the shirts also protected you from the harsh elements?
That is crazy.
I don't know. Is that true?
Protect your nipples from the rain.
You got to.
If you told me that they were highly flammable, I'd say that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Are they?
Can't confirm nor deny.
Anyway, we'll put everything on social media and everything
Go
as
over
well.
tipsyelves.com, code word do go on, 20% off. Helps us out, helps you out, looking cool. Bye. But I'm still here. I'm still here. Anyway, back to the episode.
I feel weird being back in the studio.
It's
just the three of us again. Just the three
How
of us.
do we know when our jokes are bombing?
it's the best thing. We can live in blissful ignorance again.
Because most of mine, they felt like they did.
I felt like I've been killing this whole episode.
It was a very smiley crowd.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't necessarily always come across, but geez, they smiled so hard.
Oh, they did.
In those quiet moments, they were grinning big time.
They were quiet laughing is what they were doing.
I felt like the our text could have turned up the smile level.
Yeah.
The audience.
Yeah, let's blame the text.
That was
I think.
them, not us.
Yeah, that's definitely them.
So if you listened to the episode and thought, "Oh, the audience didn't like that," no, they did.
Did you have a favourite of the live episodes?
I thought favourite audience member.
Oh, I
Let's
definitely
go
have
through
one
and
of those.
name them and rank them.
Okay, Kieran.
No, I'm not
Because
sure.
I was really mean to Kieran, and I hope he knows I was kidding. I had to rush off immediately after that
Wait,
show.
you were kidding.
And I didn't
He
get a
was
chance
about
to
the
apologise.
accountant.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to point him out in front of everybody. But I know Kieran, and I reckon he was like, nah, she's all right.
I think my favourite was maybe your Coke episode, Dave. Maybe. I can't remember them all that
Sure.
well. But I recall that being fun.
Had a
And
good
the
time.
Saints won that day. I
Right,
think.
that's what you
Oh,
recall.
yeah,
Let's
there
be
we go.
honest, that's what you recall. I enjoyed Jess's Bindi Irwin rant on your Steve Irwin episode.
I enjoyed
Matt.
that too.
Yes, that was probably a
That
highlight.
felt cathartic.
I enjoyed
be
that
honest,
as
yeah.
well. I enjoyed becoming one with the crowd. In
Yeah, the
the
first one where you joined, then that was
episode
fun.
about the
Cray
Cray
twins.
That was-
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned all these
What
moments.
a great time to reminisce.
No, we're reminiscing because all you people that somehow don't like live episodes and decided to stick with just studio episodes, we'll talk about how good those live eps were, so you go back and check them out.
Oh, smart.
Man, I'm the marketing legend. I'm crazy.
Crazy twin.
So we're back. We're back.
And so last week, if you did listen to the Loch Ness episode, Jess was supposed to report but got ill.
Oh,
So I jumped in and I did that. So that means, Jess, it's actually your turn.
yep. I'm taking back the reins because
I'm pretty happy about. I don't have to do anything.
I was very, very sick.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I was going to die, to be honest. I was sitting at my desk and I was like, my head was in my hands and I was like, I can't move. And then Dave came to my rescue and was like, JP, mate, I got this. And you did the report and I went and had a nap. And Matt set up for the live show and I turned up at the last minute. So I still obviously did a great job.
But I did also say to you that one day, and this day may never come, I may come to you with a favour.
You're going to give her a favour? You're going to do a favour? Oh, no. Hopefully this day never comes and I might do you another favour one day.
I'm the reverse Godfather. I already did you a favour, and one day I'm going to give you a second favour. And you're going to live on the edge.
Because I'm a nice guy.
Kindness could
When
be
will it be?
coming any minute now.
Oh, no, it's very overwhelming.
See that free milk in the fridge? That was me. Goodbye. Straight out the door.
Noticed you needed toilet paper. Went and bought you some. Bye.
That is not kind. That is weird. I've noticed your toilet paper's down, and I've been noticing that you're using a lot more than usual. Is everything okay?
What are you eating? Are you getting enough fibre or too much?
Let's go through a meal
Not
plan.
enjoying this direction.
Interesting. Okay, sorry, we've been rambling enough. Shall we get into the report then?
I
Yes,
Jess?
we
love
shall.
it
So,
so much.
if you have graced us with your listening ears for the first ever time, the show where we is where we report on a topic. Jess's turn, as I said, and we get onto that topic with a question. Matt and I don't know what the topic's going to be, so it could be anything.
Can I also point out that traditionally over the last sort of, I'd say 6 months, I have not been writing questions until I get into the studio and I go, fuck. Because Dave goes, we
doesn't
always
show.
start with a question, and I go, fuck. I haven't written a question. This time, I have written a question.
Oh, shit.
I'm impressed. I am.
This is growing up. I am a
Damn
grown
it.
up.
Yeah.
I
big
did
time.
it. I did it. I mean, I can't pay rent, but I wrote a question.
I think in a lot of ways this is true adulthood.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for acknowledging that. So my question to you is,
Great. She's already laughing.
who is the most misunderstood pirate of the 17th century?
Oh, no.
I didn't say it was a good question.
I was going to say, Jess, really, you built it up a lot, and then that was the question.
I never said it was a good
The
I
most
mean, the only ones I know are the ones with colours in their name. Are they any of them real? Bluebeard, Blackbeard,
Blackbeard. Is
Bluebeard.
Bluebeard a thing? No.
I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
Bluebeard. That's from that
Redhead.
Redbeard.
That's matches.
The most misunderstood pirate. I think the most misunderstood pirate could be, well, someone who's not actually a pirate.
Correct.
Oh.
Well, people
What about
argue that that's
Christian
correct.
Fletcher
No.
from The Mutiny on the Bounty? Was that?
I haven't done a spin-off episode of one of yours, funnily enough. To be fair, I hadn't heard of this person.
Jonathan Depp.
No, it's not Jonathan Depp, nor is it Orlando Bloom.
And there's no colour in their name?
No colour in the name.
No.
Do they have beard in their name? Because
No.
that family of beards, a lot of them became pirates. I think
No.
the Beard family were big into it.
You grow up with, yep.
Where was the joke going there, Dave?
It was going straight to midnight.
Okay.
Is that good?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, what if
Midnight is the best.
All right, live show right now, silence. The crowd is smiling right now.
No, I'm standing up and I'm about to go on some. I'm going to try and win him back with a bit of hand action. You know?
What?
Yes, I'm going to give him a hand job. No, I'm going to go a little bit crazy, form some sort of da 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 da, put on a little show. Suddenly they think that it's not about comedy anymore. It's now about dance.
Dave, future Dave, tree time. Take the car.
Yeah, crash the car.
Veer violently off.
Well, I'll give myself a soundtrack to crash to. Bum, bum,
Oh, that's haunting.
Start spreading the news.
I'm already dead.
Dave's dead today.
Now let me. So the most misunderstood pirate.
Oh, we're still
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just.
Would Dave have any chance of knowing? I don't think
so. Well, I hadn't heard of this, and then I started reading. And I was like, "This is a pretty cool story." So, and 17th century. I mean, I know you're really across.
That is the golden age of piracy. I will tell you.
Which is what years, Matt?
That is the 1600 to 1699.
Correct. You nailed it.
Oh, I tried to fuck it up.
Well, it might be to 17 anyway. But I had to look it up just to be sure because I'm always confused as well, and I know you are too. Anyway.
All right, 21st Century Fox, and that's from now. This is the 2000s. Okay, so you go one back, right? But unless...
What's 21st Century Fox?
That's the company, isn't it?
It's 20th Century Fox.
Well, it was in the 20th century, and now it's 21st Century Fox.
This guy.
I don't think they rebrand.
I'm so sorry, Dave. Just do your homework or fuck off.
Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Great.
That's embarrassing.
Okay. Well, how about I ask you then if you've ever heard of Captain William Kidd?
Billy the Kid.
It's not Billy the Kid.
Willie the Kid.
Willie the Kid.
Oh, Willie the Kid.
Also, I just wanted I started to read. I was like, "This is an interesting story," and then realized I would get to say Captain Kidd a lot, and I enjoyed that.
I think I've heard of Captain Kidd.
Captain Kidd. I also just like to imagine like a tiny little, like a toddler in a big captain's hat, and he's like, fire the cannons after nap time.
That's where the confusion came from.
Where is my blankie? Because he needs a little blankie for his nap. Captain, because he's a kid captain. He's a kid, but he's a captain of the ship.
Is he any relation to the Milky Bar Kid?
Yes.
Oh, because the milk's on you, Dick, but the Milky Bars are on me, which now is a very strange phrase to yell at.
The milk's on you, Dick. Oh dear.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't at all.
Do you remember the ads? Milky Bar.
I remember
Kid?
the Milky Bars are on me.
That's
I
where
can't remember that.
He'd like take out. It's that. It's that thieving Dick again. Then he'd take him out and go. The milk's. He'd get milk on him somehow. The milk's on you, Dick.
Is this during our childhood?
Oh, yeah, this is 90s. Tweet in. I reckon it was big in the US as well. Tweet in if you remember this ad to make me look less insane than I already do.
But, like, why would they use the name Dick of all names you could choose?
A little bit of comedy.
But that's inappropriate.
You think that thieving Dick is inappropriate?
I think milk's on you, Dick.
Milk's on you, Dick. I don't recall that at all. The Milky
Is it
Bars...
the milk's on your dick?
No.
Are you sure? Roll back the tape.
I will check.
The milk's on your dick. That's weird.
That is weird, Dave.
Anyway, we're taking a really long time to get into the report today.
Captain Kidd, I'm ready.
Sorry, guys. We're used to... It's kind of like we reined in for the live episodes and now we've just gone too loose. All right, let's try and focus here, boys, okay?
I won't. I refuse.
All right, well, I tried. So this... Oh, I should also mention this was suggested. This was suggested by Warren at Warhen Studios on Twitter.
Warhen, I think it's actually 21st Century Warhen Studios. They changed their name, is that correct? Warhen, tweet in.
I think it might be.
So Warren.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Warren.
Yeah, no, thank you. Great suggestion. Well, we'll soon find out, won't we?
I'm just excited. What made you pick this one? Just because you weren't familiar with the name and you thought you'd go with it? Well,
the way that he had written it was Captain William Kidd and then in brackets, Unlucky Pirate.
Oh, see, if you're thinking about trying to get a topic picked from the hat, you've got to start selling it. You've really got to start selling it. Warren has done the hard words there. Hard work and the hard words. He's put the hard word on us.
And then I did a little bit of a Google and I was like, oh, what's going on here?
Oh, that's good.
Oh, and now here we are.
He's just a really bad gambler.
Yeah, he's just unlucky. He just keeps stepping on those little...
Black cats?
Yeah, he keeps stepping on them.
I've killed another one. This is terrible.
Not again. So yeah, he just keeps stepping on and killing black cats. He's stomping cats to death.
Realistically, the black cats are the unlucky ones.
Aren't they? Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so...
I've got to dispose of another cat body.
Woe is me.
Cat cadaver.
Okay, so William Kidd was born in Dundee in Scotland on the 22nd of January, 1654.
Oh, the 17th century.
Yes.
Oh, see, I get dates.
You get it. His father was Captain John Kidd, but spelt K-Y-D. He was lost at sea during a voyage. So his dad's lost at sea. Now, apparently...
But he was also a captain.
He was also a captain.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, the kid wasn't born a captain, was he? He was just William Kidd, K-I-D-D at this time.
Okay, I'm interested to know why he changed his name. Will that come up?
Maybe they weren't related.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just coincidental that his dad also was called Kidd.
Maybe it was pronounced differently.
Kide.
That sounds Scottish.
Yeah, it does.
Buoy. Oh, I.
Now, apparently a local society supported the Kidd family financially after the death of the father. I don't know what they mean by a local society, but I'm guessing like the community sort of helped support them.
Like I remember at the start of the Burke and Wills thing, it was the sign. There was like a group. I think maybe that's what it was. Like what was it? It was like the Scientific Society of Victoria or something. Yeah. So it might be some sort of
society,
an organisation thing.
Because the tricky part about this is because it's so far back, obviously a lot of these, like we don't have a lot of information about his early life, and there are some sort of disputed facts throughout the whole thing. But apparently a local society supported them. Now his origins, so he listed his origins as Greenock. But these origins have been dismissed by David Dobson, who was somebody who's researching this. He found neither the name Kidd with K-I-D-D or K-Y-D were listed anywhere in the baptismal records. So he's like, well, I mean, you can't have been from there.
Yeah, unless he was a heathen. Heathen child. The
worst of all
Nick
children.
Cave song.
I was going to say it's a good band name, but Nick Cave got there with a song. Good on you, Nick Cave. Or Nick Cage.
Nick Cage. Not to be confused with.
Not the same. So, William Kidd later settled in the newly anglicised New York City. Are you familiar with New York City?
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, you've heard of it?
The one in the very same... So, pretty young you moved there.
I think, it doesn't say when, but I would say... it's sort of... I would say in his 20s.
Sweet.
New York City. David Letterman. 30 Rock. The Knicks.
Yep.
Patrick Ewing.
Yep.
The Babe Ruth. With the Yankees. The 54th Street.
Cool.
39th Street.
Yep.
68th
Here we go. Strap in, everyone.
42 Street.
42 Street.
On the corner of West
The
and
Miracle
42.
on the Mile. The Miracle on the
Nile.
river that the mustache man landed on. The river on the
Hudson?
Hudson.
Oh, Mustache Man. Gotcha, okay.
Burger. What's his name?
What?
Sully
Burger.
Where's
Delicious.
the burger come from?
His name was Sully Burger. Sullenberger.
Oh.
Which that's the worst description of a burger ever. I'll have a sullen burger, please. Oh.
That's all. I think that's all I got on New York City. Louis C.K.
There we go. He's back.
Comedy Cellar.
Uh-huh.
Chris Rock.
Yep.
Was there once.
What's
Maybe it's from
a
there.
big thing that's in there, like in the middle
Statue
of
of Liberty.
it? Yep.
The
Maybe
Ground Zero.
Maybe somewhere you could go for a run.
The
Outside.
Central Park.
There we go.
Central Perk.
Oh, this is good.
This is good stuff.
Monica. Jack. Ross.
Jack. You went straight to Jack.
Is Jack? There'd be a Jack. Rachel. The blonde guy from the coffee shop.
Kramer.
Oh, Seinfeld.
Oh, no. We're going to be here all day.
There's a lot of stuff in New York.
Oh, I
there?
reckon
That's
there's
the point.
heaps, to be honest, yeah.
And you know one thing that's from there? This kid.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah. See?
Well, that ties in really nicely to all the stuff I was just saying.
So William Kidd, he moved over to New York City and he befriended many prominent colonial citizens, including 3 governors.
3? How many governors does the state of New York need?
More than 3, apparently. Because if it was only 3, it probably would have said all 3 governors.
He met all 3 governors. He met 3 of 4 governors. The fourth one had a very busy schedule.
And liked to stay inside. Was a bit of a
He wouldn't
germaphobe.
make any time for me.
Now, there's some publicised information that suggests that he was a seaman's apprentice.
Apprentice.
That means he's shit. He's not good at the
Means
job
he doesn't
yet.
get paid much yet. On a pirate ship.
Sounds like the milk's on his dick.
By 1689,
So he's an apprentice on a pirate ship.
well, he's like an apprentice on it. Yeah, well, that's what some people say, but others...
But how is this he a misunderstood pirate? That's the path that any pirate needs
No,
to take.
no,
They
no.
become an apprentice, and then they become a pirate.
You do
Am I
pirate
mistaken?
TAFE.
Exactly. You do 4 hours of educational classes a week. They show you how to draw a cutlass and go, "Arr." And then 2 years later, qualified plumber. It's amazing. Every pirate ship needs a plumber.
You're not wrong.
It gets backed up back there.
I bet it bloody does. Hey, where did they go to the... I don't want to know. Anyway...
On the poop deck.
In a cannon. On the poop deck. Fire the poop!
He's shat into a cannon.
Chat to a cannon.
It's not bad. Like, if you really want to fuck
get
up
rid
your
of it.
enemies,
I mean-
Poo-covered cannonball.
it'd be the worst.
But how do you get even coverage? You got to rotate the cannonballs
You
every now and
do.
then. Oh, you
That
got
was,
it.
that was one of the worst jobs.
What do you think the apprentices are doing on the ship? Rotating the cannonballs while the captain's got his pants down his knee.
I
around his
said
ankles.
job. Job means poo as well, so that worked.
The wee jobby.
Your job is to do it. And you're Scottish
He's
after all.
Scottish. I know. That's why I did it in a Scottish accent. And now it makes sense because I've definitely heard Billy Connolly talk about a wee jobby.
Wee jobby
And
in a
now-
shoe.
Now, yeah,
The soccer.
that's right.
It's a very funny story.
God, he's a funny man. Anyway.
Bovril. He keeps talking
Yeah.
about Bovril
Yeah.
and a wee jobby in a shoe.
Anyway, so by 1689, Kidd was a member of the French-English pirate crew sailing the Caribbean, during a voyage of which Kidd and other crew members mutinied, ousting the captain and sailing to the British colony of Nevis.
I won't handle your shit balls anymore.
Shitballs. Now,
So they got rid of him on the island of...
Nevis. Do you know where Nevis is?
Yes, and Kitts and Nevis is now a West Indian country.
Correct. I had a feeling you would, but I had it written down anyway. But I was like,
Caribbean.
geography boy's going to know.
Caribbean or Caribbean?
I would say Caribbean.
I say Caribbean, but I have a lot of respect for anyone who says Caribbean because it sounds so much cooler.
It's so much cooler.
Caribbean.
But we are just not cool.
I'm not sure which is the right way.
Well, I think it probably depends on your accent. I don't think we're saying it a wrong way. We're just saying it
Right.
differently. Different doesn't mean wrong.
Oh,
In
I
my
mean,
books it
apart
does.
from sometimes when it is. When one thing is definitely right, then the other way is wrong. But I don't know if that isn't the case in this case.
Can I go on?
Do you
Yes.
say Caribbean, Matt?
I'm not sure. I asked that. I'm like, I'm not sure.
You've
which
never
way.
said it out loud before.
Yeah,
Avoided it.
I think Pirates.
Have
of
a
the,
go.
What do they say in Pirates of the Caribbean?
I don't know if anybody
They say
says-
Caribbean. I reckon I thought it was Caribbean until Pirates of the
Yeah,
Caribbean.
because they don't start the movie by saying, "Welcome to the 6th installment of Pirates of the Caribbean."
I
But
don't think
people
anybody
started
in
saying
there
it
says
more.
Caribbean. Like,
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
think I've
film.
never heard people say Pirates of the Caribbean though.
Yeah.
But if you hear, anyway, this is the worst derailing of the show that I've ever been involved in, and I've been involved in them all.
Actually true.
Oh, yeah, you're the only one who has, aren't you?
Yes, I believe so.
Good for you.
Or unless you listen to Meso, who says that the only actual episode's ones with him on it.
Oh, true.
We're only up to 4 episodes.
Okay. Anyway, you've still been on all of them.
Yes.
Fucking idiot.
Do go on.
Right. So, when they were, they'd parked the ship in Nevis.
Wow, you did a lot of research on this. Matt's backing it up. How am I doing back there, boys?
He's reverse parallel parking a ship.
How much room I got?
Did you pull the little doot doot?
Yeah, you got to.
You got to. You got to let people
That's
know.
a success toot.
What's a failure toot?
Toot, toot, toot. The third one.
Doot doot.
Boom, boom.
You gotta pull it 3 times.
So they've parked the ship.
They've parked the ship in Nevis. They renamed the ship Blessed William, and Kidd became captain, either as a result of election by the ship's crew or by appointment of Christopher Cordington, who was governor of the island of Nevis at the time. In any case, Captain Kidd, who was an experienced leader and sailor by that time, took the Blessed William, or Blessed William, blessed. And it's
I
crew.
reckon Blessed feels right. Yeah.
Blessed William.
Blessed Caribbean.
And its crew, and became part of Cordington's small fleet that was assembled to defend Nevis from the French, with whom the English were at war. The governor did not pay the sailors for their defensive services, telling them instead to take their pay from the French. It's like, go looting, boys.
Take your pay. We're not going to pay you, but go steal some stuff.
Correct.
So we could have done that anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't have to just work
Yeah.
all this time for you to tell us that.
That's a good point.
Can we have a salary as well?
Yeah.
Whatever we get's a bit of a bonus.
Yeah, can we work on a base salary and commission?
Yeah, that would be good.
That'd make more sense. You know, I got mouths to feed, i.e. mine. Kidd and his men then attacked the French island of Marie Galante, destroying its only town and looting the area and gathering for themselves something around £2,000 sterling.
It's all right. I'm getting paid.
But that's in 1600.
£2,000 sterling. So they've gotten paid a lot.
If I did some looting and walked out with £2,000 sterling, Australian dollars conversion rate, let's just say $4,000 Australian, right? Just for that. I'd be pretty freaking stoked. And it's not 1689.
It isn't.
It isn't at the moment, no. So
there you go.
that money back then must have been a lot, was my point.
I reckon
there.
it's millions.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
That sounds like a lot of money.
That's heaps.
But I don't know how many the crew is. It's probably going to share it between 40 people, but...
Oh, that was an each.
No.
But even millions split by the crew, that's still pretty good.
Oh, I'd still take that.
Assuming that our assumption that it's worth millions now is...
What was that little laugh you did? Like, I was just
I don't recall it at all.
assuming, oh dear. Oh, how cheeky.
Well, I entirely don't remember that, which is concerning, because it was seconds ago.
Came out of your mouth, Matt.
Oh no, it was one of those laughs. Like, I mean, I'm going to say something
I'm the worst.
a bit scandalous here.
And I didn't, did I?
You didn't at all. No, it was quite a
I don't
reasonable
know.
point to make.
Might have had a little stroke.
You are at that age.
Just a little one. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Except strokes.
Medically inaccurate.
So later, during the War of the Grand Alliance, also known as the 9-Year War, guess how long that lasted for?
Probably.
They're not always...
No, they're definitely not.
It wasn't 9. I'd still guess 9, because anything else would be a real roll of the dice.
Are you going to look? Do you know?
Oh, I've got it. It's for 9 years.
It was actually 9.
You were getting your laptop open to check because you didn't believe that I would have... Like, why would I ask the question if I didn't have the answer?
Jess, we've already established you're terrible at asking questions.
That's a very good point. I'm not a good communicator.
But it was 9 years.
9 years.
I like when they accurately name it.
Me too.
It makes way
It's
more
like
sense
90
to me.
Mile Beach isn't 90 miles, is it?
Yeah, why?
And the
why
12
are you having
apostles,
a stab at it?
there are not 12.
They're down to 5, I think.
Yeah. Anyway.
No good.
No good at all.
That's a rock formation in Victoria. Not.
Yeah.
I think there are 12 apostles.
Yeah, they're
in the
definitely
in
all
the
long
Bible. They're all
dead.
if anyone's been confused.
Someone is like, hang on a second. Is
just-
Peter alive?
Not in my world. They're all alive. In my heart.
Oh, boy. Anywho, so later, during the 9-Year War, they were sent out from the provinces of New York and Massachusetts Bay. Kidd captured an enemy privateer off of the New England coast. Now, a privateer was, this is how how it's explained, is a private person or ship that engaged in maritime warfare under a commission of war. I got more about that later as well.
Person or ship.
Yeah, you could
What
be...
a broad title.
Yeah.
All right, privateer reporting for duty. Are you a person or a ship? Please fill out this form.
Depending on which one you are, will depend on what uniform we give you.
Do you need a new lick of paint?
You need an extra large.
He was awarded £150 for successful privateering in the Caribbean.
So that's when he stole someone else's ship.
Yeah, so they basically just go around stealing each other's boats. It's really cool. I'll talk about it a little bit more later as well. And like, there's like documentation they need to. It's so fun. Anyway,
Why would anyone think this man is a pirate?
I don't know. 1 year later, Captain Robert Culliford, who was a notorious pirate, stole Kidd's ship while he was ashore at Antigua.
Ah.
He was ashore, just enjoying, I don't know, some beach. Some Marque, he's buying some things at the market.
What about the pirate's code? You don't steal another pirate's ship.
Yeah, but But Kid isn't technically a pirate.
By the way, there is no pirates code. They're fucking pirates.
Oh, yeah, no, I get the joke there.
I felt like there'd be a pirate's code.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there?
Parlay.
Isn't the thing they say there is honour amongst thieves?
Yeah, Dave.
There is no honour amongst thieves.
No honour amongst thieves, right. Well, that's the opposite.
I've definitely misunderstood that.
That has definitely cleared that up then. Now, in May of 1691, Kidd married Sarah Bradley Cox Oort. O-O-R-T.
Kid
Oort.
Cox. Cox kids.
What? Yep.
I was just hyphenating.
Oh, okay, give me another name. She was an English woman in her early 20s who had already been twice widowed and was one of the wealthiest women in New York, largely because of her inheritance from her first husband.
Who she killed.
She's widowed twice in her early 20s.
Is she marrying like 80-year-old oil tycoons or something?
I reckon she's got a poison puss.
The best part for me was the regret face.
He was like...
you make that same face after you.
Poison
engage.
Puss.
This is like was that okay?
It was like I don't know about that.
Yeah.
That's
I knew it was either funny or awful. Or both.
Well, sometimes they can be both.
I'm in the both camp.
No, I thought it was pretty funny. So yeah, he's married now. And
to the poison puss.
He's married to the poison puss.
The PP, let's call her.
No, I would really rather not. She's a person. Let's just call her Sarah. How about that?
All right, PPP, person with the poison puss. Happy?
I think that's a nice compromise.
Yeah, thank you. So Triple P's married our man, Captain Kidd.
I don't know about that. Okay, yes, that happened, right? And so that was just a little side note. He got married. Anyway, in 1695, so that was a couple of years later, he got married in 91, so a few years later in 95.
He's really hanging on.
What do you mean?
Well, obviously they haven't,
consummated
the marriage.
Because he's still alive.
He's still alive, and she's like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, why won't he? Nah, not going there.
He might have
the
dick antidote.
I've finally met my match. And that's why they call him Captain Kidd. He was the first superhero.
They're nothing to do with his shipping. So, 95, William III of England appointed Richard Coote, who was the first Earl of Bellamont, as the governor in place of the corrupt Benjamin Fletcher, who was known for accepting bribes to allow illegal trading of pirate loot. There's so many fun words in this. Loot is so fun.
Loot's a lot of fun.
And also some great names. So Richard Coote said no to loot. That's...
Is that how you remember it? One of those things to remember him forever?
Yes.
So when you're doing an exam on this, Richard Coote said no to loot. Bang. A. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
The question was, who said no to loot? You were like, I think I know this.
Meanwhile, in New York City, Kidd was active in building of the Trinity Church in New York. Quite a famous church. It's located near the intersection of Wall Street and Broadway. And
that's one of the few things
that
Matt didn't mention was Trinity Church.
Yeah, Matt.
If you'd let me finish my list.
We just couldn't let you go on. The show's not all about lists.
No, Jack was much more important. Jack and Rachel.
Yeah,
Kramer.
Jack. So that was that was when Richard Coote was appointed, and then in December of that same year, in 95, Bellamont was governing New York, and he asked the trusty and well-beloved Captain Kidd to attack Thomas Tew, John Ireland, Thomas Wake, William Mays, and all others who associated themselves with pirates, along with any enemy French ships. So he's like, you go out, get these boys.
Wow, you're going to take on a lot of people.
And some French. If you see any French or any of these guys, get them. That was his mission, if he chose to accept it.
Did he?
Chose.
Because
it would have been viewed as disloyalty to the crown to turn down this request, which would have had quite a negative social stigma, and so that kind of made it difficult for him to say no. So he was like, yeah, no probs.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Wow, I'd love to kill John Ireland.
Yeah, I hate that guy. So,
which, confusingly enough, is also the name of an island in the Caribbean. So
John Island.
Which one do you want me to take out?
God, that's confusing. 4/5 of the cost for the venture was paid for by noble lords who are among the most powerful men in England. They have some great names as well. We've got the Earl of Orford, the Baron of Romney, the Duke of Shrewsbury.
These sound made up, and they sound
and
great.
Sir John Summers. Oh, John.
I'm so sorry,
So
John.
sorry. You didn't get an Earl or a Baron or a Duke. You're just a Sir, you fucking idiot.
Is Sir higher than those or lower?
Nah.
Different.
Different.
Just different.
There's no wrong
It's not-
answers here. There's
doesn't
no
have
wrong
to-
titles.
It's not all about ranking, you know? Sometimes people just want to be friends with a funny name at the start of their name.
Yeah, preferably.
But Earl is it's the coolest sounding, but I don't think it's as... Is it? I have no idea. I think there is a ranking, like, in the King or Queen.
Yeah.
Like, I think they hand out those titles, don't they? And I think there is a ranking.
definitely
of
a
how they work.
ranking.
I just don't...
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
Baron's, like, pretty... That's basic bitch, I think. Level.
I remember learning about this on Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, and now I can't for the life of me remember the order. But I thank God for that game every day. I learnt so much.
Are they making a movie or something about that?
God, I wish. I hope.
I reckon I read
hope.
something about it recently. Where in the world has Carmen Sandiego been made into something?
Excellent.
Maybe a
hope
new game.
Eva Longoria plays her, or Sofia Vergara, or Jess Perkins.
I was going to say, you could do it.
Thank you. Do you really believe that?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Totally. She was probably... Looking back, she was probably a 20-something woman, Carmen.
I'm that.
I know. You are...
I'm 20-something.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I think you could be that.
I think you're a lot more 20-something than even Longoria or the
Yep.
And also,
Vergara.
Sophie Vergara.
There we go.
you could easily get lost in the world. Your geography is terrible.
It's so bad.
So you'd be great
I'd be great at
at
it.
being lost.
Yeah.
Having to be found.
Yeah, but she's being like hunted, not rescued. Like, yeah, she's a baddie. Anyway, guys, focus. So, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? No, so we had the Baron and the Sir and the John. So they've all put it. They've all put it. The John.
The Sir and the John. Two different guys.
Thank
You, sir. And thank you, John. He's like, Earl, Baron, Sir, John. John's like, fuck off, I'm a doctor.
It was a toilet.
So all of these people have put in money to get this venture out to sea.
You did say 4/5. What happened to the fifth?
Can I get to it?
4/5 the amount that you have to pay for Dirty Elves clothing.
Tipsy elves.
Tipsy Elves. Yeah, that's what I meant. I got a little quirky nickname for them.
You dirty elves.
You dirty elves.
You
With your
did.
great clothing.
Anyway.
Dave's giving me the
A-OK.
really A-OK signal.
Fucking hell.
I think we saved it.
You sure that's not called the really good signal?
Let's describe
what
it.
you do is
you make
you
a
put
circle with a thumb and your index finger.
Yeah.
Then the other three fingers
They
sort of
flare out.
flare out.
Flare out is such a... I don't think it's ever been described so nicely.
It's a bit like,
A
imagine
finger flare.
the pistol at the start of James Bond where he walks in and you're going to shoot Bond.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
make that symbol with your hand. Yeah.
And then let your other three fingers flare.
What? Oh, yeah.
And you got yourselves the good symbol.
You went from going, what? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, to I completely understand and that is correct. Within,
Yeah.
I reckon, about 3/5 of a second. Fuck, 4/5.
You idiot. Guys, okay, focus. Ready? Okay. So, Kid was presented with a letter of Marque, would it be? Marque? Marque.
Yeah.
What else could it
Seems
be?
like Mark.
Yeah, you have the Marcus.
Marquis?
Yeah.
Marcus?
So there's a letter of Marque, and it was signed personally by King William III of England. In the days, I'll tell you what it is, because I know that's the question you're going to ask.
Does anyone know who King William III is? I'm fascinated by these old kings and queens. I don't know anything about any of them. He sounds like one that was not very special. And he wasn't. That's why none of us remember him.
Probably.
Please do go on.
Yeah. I don't know anything about King William III. Do you know anything off the top of your head? I don't think I know. But there's so many of them.
What? No.
And this is the 17th century.
There was a Shakespeare play about Richard III, right?
Correct.
Yep.
I almost got excited. Third, let's work back to the other part of that. Oh, no.
No, wrong one. So in the days of fighting sail, so like, you know, these days have been out in the ocean. A letter of Marque was a government license authorizing a person known as a privateer to attack and capture enemy vessels and bring them before courts for condemnation and sale.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's the James Bond license to kill. Get that okay, everything's okay symbol going.
They're licensed to pirate, basically. They're still pirates, but they're like licensed. They're like legal pirates. They're like good pirates.
They've done their TAFE course. They got their diploma. They've done their apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And now they got their letter of marque.
Yeah, they got their letter of marque, and it means you can go pirate, but in a safe and legal way.
Fuck yeah.
I know, it
feels like an oxymoron, legal pirating.
It definitely is. It's so weird. They're like licensed pirates. I was going to sneeze and I didn't.
Just for those at home who wanted to be kept up to date.
I was like, what was that weird inhale there? Just me having a little spasm. Anyway, so the letter reserved 10% of the loot for the crown. And Henry Gilbert's The Book of Pirates. What a legend for writing that book. The Book of Pirates. In his book, he suggests that the king may have fronted some of the money for the voyage himself. And apparently Kidd and his acquaintance, Colonel Robert Livingston, orchestrated the whole plan and paid for the rest. Kidd actually had to sell one of the ships that he had to help fund this quest, yes.
I'm so sorry.
You Googled, didn't you?
I was thinking the whole time.
You piece of shit.
One of the Williams is William of Orange. And it is William III.
Okay, great. Do you feel good about yourself now?
Oh, yeah. I wish I'd said something and I would look so clever.
Orange is in the Australian town?
Yeah, that's right. He came from the Australian town of Orange.
Cool. That's fun.
Is that where the big Elvis competition is?
In Orange?
Yeah, I think it is. Big Elvis, the Elvis lookalikes go there once a year. Have a big old festival. It's the biggest Elvis festival in the world. I think it's in Orange.
If you're wrong, the people of Orange are going to be outraged.
Or
pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly surprised.
They didn't know about it.
Organising.
Okay, so they've got their new ship now. It's all paid for, and the ship is
by
called
William III, aka William of Orange.
Okay, well, he paid a bit, mate. All right. Kidd also sold a ship for this one. So the new ship was called Adventure Galley. And it was well suited to the task of catching pirates. It weighed over 284 tons, and it was equipped with 34 cannons. It had oars, and there was 150 men on board. Now, the oars were a key advantage, as they enabled Adventure Galley to manoeuvre in battle when the winds had calmed and other ships were dead in the water. They could just be like, oh, let's keep moving, and they could, because they had oars.
Doesn't that feel like quite a basic feature that probably they all should have had?
All right, Dave. Well, you go back to the late 1600s and maybe suggest that.
Imagine having
It's sort of like saying every car should have heated seats. Like, fuck you affluent East little prick.
Hang
right,
on.
Matt?
Yeah.
Does every car not have heated seats?
No, you princess.
Show me one that doesn't.
Mine.
Well, okay.
Also, yours.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't at all.
They're turning a ship into a rowboat. What a pain in the ass that must have been. How big must the oars be?
Have you not seen, like, the Viking big ships?
Oh, yeah.
Big oars, mate.
Yeah,
They're
right.
big. They're not like little rowboat oars.
That would suck.
Yeah, it would. But there's 150 of them, so hopefully quite a few of them would be having a row.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is fun. This is a fun little part here. Okay, so Kidd took pride in personally selecting the crew, and he chose only those who he deemed to be the best and most loyal officers. This is a little excerpt. I don't know who wrote this, but it's bloody great. It says, as the Adventure Galley sailed down the Thames. Did I say it right?
You said it right.
You nailed it. Have you been practicing in front of the mirror?
I saw it and I went with my gut and I did it right. Thank God. As they sailed down the Thames, Kidd unaccountably failed to salute a navy yacht, as custom dictated. The navy yacht then fired a shot to make him show respect, and Kidd's crew responded with an astounding display of I can never say this. Okay, basically they
I'm so keen to hear what that word is.
I'll just show you in a sec. Responded with an astounding display by turning and slapping their backsides in disdain. So they mooned them and slapped their own bums.
That is awesome, and these bums were handpicked. Remember,
Don't handpick the bums.
Before this
Billy
voyage,
the Kid was handpicking their bums.
Yeah,
That's
no
so good.
Well, you've done well in this interview, but I need you to turn around and now show me your bottom. Go on.
Do it.
Do it.
Off you go.
You could get this job. Remember, we're not paid, but we might get some loot.
Oh, no.
You will have to do some big rowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of big rowing. Now, because of kids' refusal to salute, the Navy vessel's captain retaliated by pressing much of kids' crew into naval service. So he's like, all right, fine. Well, you're all in the Navy now.
How did that happen? He just yelled that out. Fine.
I don't know.
You're in the Navy now.
And they're like, shit.
Checkmate.
So this left Kid with less crew.
That's so weird.
What?
So
He
weird.
just took some of them off the boat.
Yeah, so then he sailed to New York and captured a French vessel en route, as you do. Now, to make up for the lack of officers, Kidd picked up replacement crew in New York, and the vast majority were known and hardened criminals.
So you're
Some
gonna say hardened asses.
They had hardened asses.
Lots of
Lots of
squats.
squats. I got too excited about us saying the same thing there, didn't I?
No, just the right amount.
Slapped your leg and recoiled in disgust and excitement.
Well, the big moment.
The big moment for us, wowzers. Anyway, they're hardened crooks, some of them undoubtedly former pirates. Amongst Kidd's officers was his quartermaster, Hendrik van der Huel. Now, the quartermaster was considered a second-in-command to the captain, and van der Huel is also noteworthy because he may have been African or of African descent, and if that's true, if he was of African ancestry, this fact would make him the highest-ranking African pirate so far identified.
Oh,
Which is kind of cool.
yeah.
Just a little fun fact.
And what's his name?
Hendrik van der Huel. It's a good name.
Solid name.
That is a very good name.
Very good name. In September of 1696, I went to say 1996, 1696, Kidd weighed anchor and set course for the Cape of Good Hope. A third of his crew perished due to an outbreak of cholera, and the brand new ship developed many leaks, and he failed to find the pirates whom he'd expected to encounter off Madagascar.
You say he failed to find the leaks.
Where are they? Put some duct tape over it.
But he couldn't find any of the pirates.
Well, he's like, surely there's going to be pirates off Madagascar, so that's where he headed, and there weren't any there. As it became obvious that his ambitious enterprise was failing...
You know who isn't Madagascar? Some of the members of the New York City Zoo.
Correct. Very good.
One of them played by Friend star.
I'm not helping you here. Who played... Give me the character at least.
Chandler Bing.
No.
I know. No. He also played.
I am not doing the OK symbol right now.
Yeah.
He's in the O.J. Simpson movie.
Yeah.
And he's in this podcast about army stuff.
Is he?
What's his fucking name?
David
Schwimmer.
There we go.
Which would be handy in a sea type
Yeah, because
scenario.
he'll just...
He could
swim you
away,
out.
swim to shore.
Release the swimmer.
So as it became obvious that this expedition was failing, Kidd became desperate to cover its costs, but once again he failed to attack several ships when given a chance, including a Dutchman and a New York privateer. Now, some of the crew deserted Kidd the next time the Adventure Galley anchored offshore, and those who decided to stay on made constant open threats of mutiny.
You're dead, kid.
I mean,
You're fucking dead.
I'm getting back on the ship, but I'm not happy about it.
On the way back in. Oh, man.
Every time he's like, "Hey guys, I was
What
just
are you up
wondering,
to?"
if anybody wanted to maybe give me a hand in sweeping the poop deck." And I'm like, "Oh, well, how about a mutiny? How's that sound?
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Oh, no, I'll sweep it. I'll sweep it myself. I'll live to sweep.
Yeah, great. Okay,
Have a good weekend.
yep, bye." That's how it went. That's how it went down.
And then when
very
they
hostile.
leave, he's like, yeah, you better believe I'm still the boss.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, "Got him.
Yeah.
I showed them
Fuck yeah,
because
gotcha.
he's cool." Anyway, so then, so that was, that was that happening. And then on the 30th of October in 1697, Kidd's gunner, William Moore, was on deck sharpening a chisel
Oh, no, this is not sounding good.
when a Dutch ship appeared. "Ah, on the horizon, a Dutch ship," they would have said.
While sharpening and chisel, they were that casual about it. Oh, a Dutch ship.
That's interesting.
Can't do that.
Moore urged Kidd to attack the Dutchman and act not only piratical.
Wow, that is a sick word.
Piratey.
I reckon
basically means.
it sounds like you've coined it yourself. Claim it.
Piratical. But also certain to anger the Dutch-born King William. So he's like, no, I'm not going to attack.
William of Orange. There it is. He's a Dutch guy.
Oh, there you
That's
go.
why they call him that.
We don't have
orange.
We don't have an issue with the Dutch, so no, I'm not going to attack the Dutch ship, is what he was saying.
Dutch are still very orange, right? All their sports teams are orange.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Netherlands.
Thank you for that.
I didn't know that was what the orange thing was about. So
No, me
orange
either.
goes way back.
Yeah, I think they have one of the...
Orangest
Landscapes.
What does the orange connect to?
I think it feels like a national colour.
Just like we got bloody green and gold, baby.
And by the way, Matt, the Elvis Festival, it's in Parks.
That's what I said.
So
Parks also home
Very
to the
close to orange?
satellite dish.
William of Parks.
Ah.
That's who you were thinking of.
I was
Are
thinking,
you now looking up why orange is? Why can't you just let things go?
We live in an age where you can think of something
Yeah,
and then
I know
find an
that.
answer within seconds.
But I've thought of something and written a report on it, and you don't need to be Googling
a
things
little respect,
during
please.
my
Okay, sorry, I
reports.
won't look.
But is orange... I need
Now
to
I
look...
want to know.
Yeah, quick, look it up.
All right, everyone have a quick phone break.
But Jess, you keep
Yeah.
going with the
All right.
report.
Okay. So, but this is an interesting part of the
Oh,
report.
I'm listening.
It sounds good. So the chisel is out.
Chisel's out, and he said, Cap, we should attack that ship.
Hey, Cap, what do you reckon?
Oh, Cap Kid. And Kid refused. He's like, no. And he's called Moore a lousy dog. No, you lousy dog.
Well, I mean, he's a lousy dog because he's not a dog. You know?
Yeah, he's not good at being a dog at all.
He's such a shit dog, he's not even a dog.
Now, Moore retorted, if I'm a lousy dog, you have made me so. You've brought me to ruin and many more.
That is almost akin to, I know you are, but what am I? That's parody
Good point.
speak.
I've looked up the
Oh, for
distance
fuck's
between
sake.
Orange and Parks, so you'll understand why I thought that it might have been in the same place. They're only 100 kilometres from each other,
Oh, is that all?
which is small.
That's
in
pretty small.
in such a big country.
Dave, now I want to know why it's orange. Before I tell you the exciting part of this story that you two have keep
Exactly
interrupting.
100 kilometres.
Fucking hell.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can.
What are the odds?
I can because I live in Australia. I know how.
Is that? I don't have no idea if that's not that far. Is
It's not that far.
100 k's.
Bit over
Do
an
that
hour.
in an hour if you were travelling at 100 k's an hour.
Correct, you would, yeah. But I imagine like you wouldn't be able to drive 100 k's straight out of your driveway in Orange. So let's
You
assume
start at 100.
let's assume there's a couple of 50 zones along the way.
Ugh.
I think a couple of traffic lights.
Bloody nanny state up there.
And then once you get out on the bloody road,
Yeah.
you get up to 100.
100K.
You might even get 110 in some
Yeah,
parts.
that's true.
And that way actually
Well, that
shit,
covers
that
off
would
the
cover
driveway.
off- Dave, have you figured out why orange is the colour of the Netherlands?
So one reason is that the House of Orange Nassau is like the house of the royal family.
Right. But we don't know. Yeah, I'm just curious as to why it became that. But maybe we can find that out in a future episode.
Yeah,
I wonder why. Yeah, there must be something.
but it could be
Maybe
just
it's
like
the family name.
yeah. I think it's a family name. For example, like the House of Windsor.
Right. And it just coincidentally also was a colour. Or they invented the colour orange. They're like, we got a whole bunch of yellow, we got a whole bunch of red. Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, so now we're all satisfied. We've all had a Google. We're all happy now?
Look, I think we're close.
I'm happy. I reckon I'm all ears.
Are you?
Forget Dave.
It's all from that. Look, I've googled it further. It's just the House of Orange. That's it. That's
Okay,
it.
so what was happening then? So we had the
Okay.
lousy dog.
Lousy dog. He's got a chisel, which I think is important. He said, "Hey Cap, let's attack those orange bastards on the horizon." And Cap has said, "Shut up, you low dog. I'll do what I want."
Correct. Very
And
good.
he replied,
Chisel to the face.
Mutiny.
I know.
Yoda?
Raggy?
Dog.
Oh, I thought it was Yoda was on the ship.
No, he's trying to be a dog saying mutiny.
Mutiny, we should. Shut up, dog.
You're a lousy dog.
You're a lousy
Not
dog.
a bad Yoda.
You're a pretty good Yoda. Mate, if I was you, I'd swap impressions.
Yeah. Or stop telling people it's a dog and just
Yeah.
say it's you. You can
Just
still
say
do the
it's
same
Yoda.
thing, I reckon. But just...
You're on the right track of doing a Yoda impression.
Anyway, so he says, I know you are, but what am I? And then Kid picks up and heaved an iron-bound bucket at Moore and Moore fell to the deck with a fractured skull and died the following day.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah, checkmate. You
shit.
do not challenge me, dog.
Now, 17th century English admiralty law allowed captains great leeway in using violence against their crew, but outright murder was not permitted. I love it so much.
It's a great
Like,
sentence.
hey, we'll turn a blind eye to a lot of things, but you can't bloody murder them.
I mean, yeah, outright murder. Do you think throwing a bucket at someone is outright murder? That feels like an unlucky pirate to me.
That's where it comes from.
It sounds like a bit of an accident.
He was just trying to play fetch with the lousy dog.
He was just trying to, like, he was just
Catch
gonna,
this bucket. Oh, shit.
he was just gonna hurt him a little bit.
Yeah.
He fell on it.
The odds of throwing a bucket at someone and killing them feel very remote.
Yeah, agreed.
And after all, he had a chisel, so he was coming at him.
Yeah.
Self-defense. He's off.
Yeah, there you go.
Packing
Fine.
heat.
David Swimmer got
Well-
him off again. OJ.
Well, he apparently Kid wasn't all that concerned about it because he.
If the bucket don't fit, you must acquit.
Have to quit. If you buck it,
Yes.
you must acquit. Look, I should have stuck with my original, much catchier phrase. But I thought you were going to say there, like, that the guy who was murdered, he didn't really mind.
No, he mind. He was dead. He mind.
Oh, he might.
Oh, he mind.
You say he minded. That's right, isn't it?
He mound.
He mound.
He mound.
Man, big time.
There is now a mound in his skull.
Oh, he mound. Well,
Where?
there's a mound of dirt on top of him because he's buried somewhere because he dead.
Oh, yeah. Well,
That's
they'll
awful.
probably throw him overboard, to be honest.
Yeah, probably you're right. Which is a nicer way to go.
More environmentally friendly.
Yeah, exactly right. And then fish food.
He'd be swimming with the fishes.
Swimmer with the fishes.
Anyway, yeah. So that
But
happened.
so the sentence was that kid doesn't mind.
He wasn't too concerned about it because, and he said to somebody else that he had good friends in England that will bring me off for that. So
I
he's
know
like,
a good lawyer. I've got a great
he's
lawyer.
like, yeah, I got connections. They're not going to get me in trouble for this. And then we sort of get into the section that's about some accusations that were made of piracy about him. So at this stage, keep in mind that he's a licensed pirate.
Right, but he's failing though. Is that right?
No, he's doing fine. It's just his crew don't like him.
His crew, but some of them have died of dysentery and they haven't found the guys they're supposed to get.
They had cholera. It's different.
Pardon me.
Fine. And that it's not that they were just supposed to go out and just hunt pirates and the pirates were getting a bit sneaky. You know, like he was still doing his job. And he was still a licensed. My point is that he's a licensed pirate, but people are starting to make accusations of him being a naughty pirate.
He's not a licensed pirate. He's a naughty pirate.
He's one of the naughty ones.
Hey,
So-
you guys, can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
Earlier in the episode,
Yes.
I used the term basic bitch.
Yes, you do.
You guys didn't pull me up on it. Does that mean I used it correctly?
Look, I'm not sure.
I have no recollection. I was probably
You were talk-
Googling William of Orange.
Well, you were talking about it being a baron as a basic bitch.
I thought,
Have you been thinking about that this whole time?
not the whole time, but I'm like, did I get away with that?
I don't know if
and
you
then
got
I-
away with
But then I was remembering that this has all been recorded, so maybe I haven't gotten away with it at all.
it. Not at all.
And someone's hearing going, geez, he does not know what that means.
No.
Hey, don't worry about it. I've got some lawyers in England. They could probably get you off this.
They could bring me off for
yeah.
this. Which just sounds like a hand job again.
Everything comes back to a hand job with this episode. As it should.
I'm bringing you off. And then we're going to look at fighting those charges.
What a night. Acts of savagery.
Which is also something a ranker king can give you.
Acts of savagery on kids' part were reported by escaped prisoners who told stories of being hoisted up by the arms and beaten with a drawn cutlass. So, like, a cutlass is a sword, right? So if you're being beaten with a sword, is that just a stabbing? I don't know how you can beat someone with a sword. Hi-ya!
You're using it wrong.
Like the flat edge of it, just like slapping him with it a bit.
I don't know, you just look at someone and be like, you're the worst fucking pirate I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's much better if you do this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
God.
Oh, interesting.
They die much quicker this way. No, I'm pretty sure. Does that just mean that he's just slapping him? He's like turkey slapping him with his sword.
Don't say turkey slapping with his sword. That's not good at all.
Stand by what I said.
I don't stand by what you said. So anyway, yeah, he's hitting him with his cutlass. apparently. And he was also declared a pirate very early in his voyage by a Royal Navy officer to whom he'd promised 30 men or so. Apparently, Kidd sailed away during the night to preserve his crew rather than subject them to the Navy. So again, it was that situation where they were just going to take them and put them in the Navy. And he was like, yeah, great, you can have like 30 of my boys. Run, start the boat. But you can't, like, it doesn't have an engine.
And they can't run anywhere either.
They're rowing very quietly.
They run into the water. Shit. This has not worked out how I imagined.
Not smart.
Everyone's in trouble apart from David Schwimmer.
Swim.
Now, I looked up how to pronounce this and I've already forgotten how to, so I'm probably going to do it wrong. But on the 30th of January in 1698, he took his greatest prize, which was the 400-ton Queda merchant. Definitely wrong. It was an Indian ship hired by an Armenian merchant that was loaded with satin, gold, silver, an incredible variety of East Indian merchandise, as well as extremely valuable silks. The captain was an Englishman named Wright, who had purchased passes from the French East India Company, promising him the protection of the French crown. After realising the captain of the vessel was English, Kidd tried to persuade his crew to return the ship to its owner, because he's like, oh no, that's okay, he's like one of us, or he's fine. But then they refused, claiming that their prey, which is a weird word, was perfectly legal, because Kidd was commissioned to take French ships, and this ship counted as French if it had French passes. So they're like, well, it's French, so we can take it.
That's a real loophole.
Big loophole.
This pirates are way smarter than I imagined they were.
But also I like that Kidd's like, guys, come on. Hey, how about let him go. He's English.
Go on, give him the keys.
Come on, that's enough. And then they're like, nah. No, we're taking it. He's like, no, come on, guys. Hey.
I'm really sorry I turkey slapped you with my sword.
Hey.
If I just give you the keys, will you just forget about it?
It's like a mum pleading with her, like she's got triplet boys who are just little shits. It's like, come on, Tyson, get down why are you on the bench again? Get down. Hey. You know, it's like that. That's how I'm imagining it.
Stop stealing that ship,
Stop stealing that ship, Tyson. Stop hitting your brother.
What are the other triplets named?
Gary.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin.
Oh, they really ran out of steam there.
Yep.
Wait, so you're happy with Tyson and Gary,
Yeah.
and then to you Kevin is running out of steam. Jeez, I had momentum up early.
Oh, boy.
Tyson, wow. Gary, yes. Kevin, oh, no.
Wow. Tyson, wow.
How original. Sorry, he's stealing ships and his name's Tyson? Wow, didn't see that coming.
So, in an attempt to maintain his tenuous control over his crew, Kidd gave in and he kept the ship. And when the news of this reached England, it confirmed Kidd's reputation as a pirate, and various naval commanders were ordered to pursue and seize the said Kidd and his accomplices for the notorious piracies they had committed. So, them taking on a ship that was captained by an Englishman who's like one of them, the Navy were like, now you're officially a bad boy. And not one of the cool bad boys. Not like Hollywood's bad boys. Just an actual bad boy.
Who are Hollywood's bad boys?
Okay, Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Robert Downey
Jr.
Jr.
Dogs into Australia.
Yeah. And the drugs.
On the trucks.
Robert Downey Jr. because of the drugs.
Right.
Bad boys. Joaquin Phoenix.
Right, bad.
Mel Gibson because of the many slurs.
Russell Crowe because of the
racism
phone
and
throwing.
Oh, yes.
That was a good one. Bad boys. What you gonna do?
Will Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
Martin Lawrence.
They are literally Hollywood's bad boys.
And Bad Boys 2 as well.
I like Bad Boys 2 better, to be honest.
Oh.
Back in the Habit. Knew that'd get it.
Bad Boys 2, Back in the Habit. Okay, so Kidd kept the French passes from the ship that they'd taken over, because he thought he kind of thought that would like if anybody questioned him as to why he'd taken it, he could be like, oh no, they had French passes, they're French, and then everybody would be like, oh, that's okay, then you're not a bad pirate, you're a good licensed pirate. So he held on to those, and he renamed the ship Adventure Prize, and he set sail for Madagascar. So
I love the idea of all this ship rename. Do they have like a ceremony?
I don't know.
He comes out and he goes, I've decided to call it Adventure Adventure Prize!
Or he just sends out a newsletter around the ship, or like,
They'll read it and go,
guys, just put your breakfast down for a sec. Okay, few quick things. Number 1, Johnson's birthday. Happy birthday, Earl. We'll have cake after breakfast. Number 2,
You can stab with cutlasses.
whose turn was it to sweep the poop deck? Because I have done it 8 times. There's 150 of us on here. Come on, guys, we're going to shed a load of it.
Mutiny.
Oh, yeah, all right, I'll do it again. But I'm just saying a little bit of help would be nice.
All right,
anyway,
call off the mutiny.
Thank you. And thirdly, I've changed the name of the ship. No, stop groaning. It's fine. I know. The other one was too hard to pronounce for a girl in 400 years' time to pronounce on a podcast. We'll figure out what podcasts are at a later
And they'll
time.
start groaning because they've got to get a new tattoo.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I wonder if they voted for it, or did he just decide?
All right, we've got 2 finalists, Adventureland and Tyson. Wonder who thought of that one. Good one, Tyson.
Or we could come to a compromise.
Get everyone to vote for that.
Adventure Prize.
Tyson? Good.
Tyson it is.
He says yes.
He says yes.
Tyson says yes.
He's the boat now.
Everyone in Tyson.
Everyone on Tyson.
I'm going to sweep his poop deck. Then we'll jump in.
All aboard. Anyway, so they headed for Madagascar, and they got there in April of 98. And here he found the first pirate of his voyage, Robert Culliford. Does that name ring a bell at all?
Yes.
The dirty dog.
He stole his ship years before, and he was aboard his boat, which was called Marque Frigate. Anyway,
Should have called it Tyson.
Should have called it Tyson. There's 2 contradictory accounts of what happened here. According to the General History of the Pirates, which is a fantastic book that was published more than 25 years after the event, Kidd apparently they was quite peaceful, and they had drinks, and they were like, "Hey, we're buddies, woo!" Right, it was all fine. Another account appears to be based on the testimony of a couple of Kidd's crewmen, and it says that he didn't know that Culliford only had about 20 crew with him, and so he sort of felt like they were ill-manned and ill-equipped to take on the ship. So they waited until their other 2 ships in their fleet arrived, waited for reinforcements, and then they attacked.
Then they attacked Culliford.
Yes, yep. But then his crew, despite their previous eagerness to seize any available prize, they refused to attack Culliford and threatened instead to shoot Kidd. So it's like it's a mess.
Right, so it could be either a party.
Yeah, or
not a party.
Not a party at all.
Okay.
Very strange. Now, both accounts, though, depending on which story you go for, both accounts, though, do agree that most of Kidd's men now abandoned him for Culliford. Only 13 remained with Adventure Galley, which is the main ship.
Do you reckon Tyson left?
Oh, definitely Tyson. Oh,
First
any
to
chance
go.
to jump ship, or jump Tyson, I should say. Anyway, deciding to return home, Kidd left the Adventure Galley behind, ordering her to be burnt because she'd become worm-eaten and leaky. No, there's no reason to set fire to her. Before burning the ship, he was able to salvage every last scrap of metal, such as hinges. Got to get all those hinges. Get all the doors off. Do they have doors, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well, what else would there be hinges on? Windows. There it is. Sorry.
Ooh, one of those window hinges.
With the the loyal remnant of his crew, he returned to the Caribbean aboard the Adventure Prize. So they're heading in.
So did he not just burn that ship?
No, they burnt Adventure Galley, the first ship.
Oh, sorry.
They still have Adventure Prize, so that's where
Right.
what he's
But
on.
they kept the hinges. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah,
They once had £2,000 in sterling, and now they're getting... Grab the hinges.
Get him.
Oh, shit.
Now, prior to returning to New York City, Kidd learned that he was a wanted pirate and that several English men of war were searching for him. Realizing that Adventure Prize was a marked vessel, he ditched it in the Caribbean and continued towards New York aboard a sloop. I looked up a sloop. It's just like a small ship. There's another boat.
Fun name.
Don't know where he got it, but
Sloop.
he's got a sloop. He deposited some of his treasure on Gardiner's Island, hoping to use his knowledge of its location as a bargaining tool. Like, if anybody comes at him, he could be like, well, I know where there's treasure.
I know where the hinges are.
I know where the hinges are.
There's at least 36 hinges.
That's-
Don't murder me.
That would work.
I'm worth more to you alive.
Now, Bellamont, who was an investor in the original Journey, he was away in Boston, and aware of the accusations against Kidd, he was quite afraid of being implicated in piracy himself, and knew that presenting Kidd to England in chains was his best chance to save himself. So he lured Kidd into Boston with false promises of clemency, and then ordered him arrested on the 6th of July, 1699. Kidd was placed in Stone Prison, spending most of the time there in solitary confinement. His wife, Sarah, or Triple P as you like to call her.
Hey, as history likes to call it.
She was also imprisoned, but I don't know why.
So Triple P's in P.
Yeah, she's quadruple P.
Thank you.
Hey, is anyone else getting excited about the turn of the century coming up? Every time you say a year, I'm like,
it's so close to
I want to take it a
1700.
party.
Ooh, who will it be in the 18th century?
It's so exciting.
Will he live to see the day?
The conditions of Kidd's imprisonment were extremely harsh and appeared to have driven him, at least temporarily, insane. Just had a bout of insanity, as we all do. By then, Bellamont had turned against Kidd and other pirates, writing that the inhabitants of Long Island were a lawless and unruly people, protecting pirates who had settled among them. So after over a year, Kidd was sent to England for questioning by Parliament. And they found him, they found him politically useless. So the two sides of government were sort of trying to see how they could use this to their benefit, but there wasn't really a way to use it. So instead they just made him stand trial before the High Court and for charges of piracy on high seas and for the murder of William Moore. I mean, it's just like he threw a bucket. I mean,
oh, the bucket guy.
Bucket guy was another William Moore.
He had a bloody chisel.
Yeah. Now, whilst awaiting trial, Kidd was confined in the infamous Newgate prison and wrote several letters to King William requesting clemency. Just like, hey, Will again. Quick thing. How are you? Firstly, not to be rude. How are you? Are you well? I'm good. Thank you for asking. I assume you did. Hey, quick thing. Clemency. Circle Y or N.
Where are we at on that?
Where are we at on the clemency? Can I have it? Please.
If I can have it, I'd love it.
I'd love a little bit of
You know,
clemency.
if you've got any spare,
Got any spare clemency lying
send them
around.
my way.
Anyway.
I could use some.
The saddest thing was the king couldn't read. Completely
Because
wasted
he was
time.
Dutch.
Mm.
Can't read. Notoriously
Anti-readers.
anti-readers. They hate it. Now, Kidd had two lawyers to assist in his defence. He was shocked to learn at his trial that he was charged with murder. He did not know that he was being charged with murder. He's like, what?
These lawyers sound pretty bad.
But also,
they've come in, they've cancelled him, they've never even said what the charge is. He's thinking that it's like, theft or something. And he walks in.
Theft
Murder!
of a bucket.
David Schwimmer didn't say anything about this.
Yeah, no. He was like, oh, murder, what? But, yeah, dude, you murdered someone. And he was found guilty on all charges. So it was murder and 5 counts of piracy. He was hanged on the 23rd of May, 1701.
He made it!
Yeah.
You just...
Ooh, sure.
You're celebrating somebody getting hanged.
No, making it to the 1700s.
Oh, cool. He was... Do you want to know where he was hanged?
Yeah.
Ooh.
At Execution Dock.
That makes sense to me.
Does make sense.
That adds up.
That's in London. During the execution, this is awful, the hangman's rope broke and Kidd was hanged on the second attempt. Wasn't there a thing where if it didn't work, then it's like
in
an act of
America,
God?
wasn't it
Or is that
like-
America? Well, this is London. There we go. I was like, but
Was
That
it? I
sucks.
think that maybe was in one of our past stories.
yeah,
about
there's a
America.
thing like that, isn't there?
Yeah, is that a real thing?
I vaguely remember that. Anyway, but it doesn't apply here because they definitely hanged him, and his body was gibbeted. Do you know what that means?
Gutted. Right?
No, that's what I thought. And then I was like,
Took his giblets out.
I'm going to click on the
Giblets.
hyperlink to figure it out, but
Oh,
I don't want
great.
to.
Exciting. What is it?
But it's not that. It's just that they publicly display your body. And so it was just hanging over the Thames for 3 years as a warning to future would-be pirates.
That is a long time.
That's a long time.
And what happens at the end of the 3 years? That's long enough.
That's
You
going to be a
would've thought there'd
smelly...
be enough rotting that it just
yeah.
would fall off.
It's just decomposed and yuck. Don't act it out, Maddie. Anyway.
It's hard to act out decomposition.
It is hard.
Is that-
It's something that takes a while to act out because it's just such a slow process.
Oh,
Oh, there it is.
I'm
Yeah.
falling off.
Oh, I saw it. So Kidd's backers, so all the people that put money into
Yeah,
this
what about the
exhibition,
Lords, the Sir, the Earl, and John?
well, they were quite embarrassed by his trial. And far from rewarding his
Oh
loyalty...
no, they're so embarrassed. Ooh, our man was murdered. Ooh, embarrassing.
This is even before, so they could have probably stepped in. So far from rewarding his loyalty, they participated in the effort to convict him by depriving him of the money and information which might have provided him with some legal defence. So in particular, the 2 sets of French passes that he had kept were missing at his trial. So they could have actually been kind of helpful. They were found years later, just misfiled with other government papers in a London building.
Whoopsie!
Oh, did I lose those? Oh, whoops. Along with the papers, many goods were brought from the ship and soon auctioned off as pirate plunder. And they were never mentioned in the trial at all either.
Pirate plunder.
Now, for years, people and treasure hunters have tried to locate the
Mysterious missing hinges.
No, the ship,
36.
the ship that he abandoned, the one that I can't pronounce, that then became Adventure Maze.
That sounds fun.
Maze.
It does.
It was reported on December 13, 2007, that a wreckage of a pirate ship abandoned by Captain Kidd in the 17th century has been found by divers in shallow water off the Dominican Republic. Now, the water in which the ship was found was less than 10 feet deep and was only 70 feet off Catalina Island, just to the south of La Romana on the Dominican coast. So it's like not far off the coast.
And no one found it.
There it is.
People have been looking for 300 years.
Oh, hang on, what's that? Oh, there it is. They found it.
Oh.
So they found the ship.
How tall was it? Was it 9 feet tall? Because it was in 10 feet of water.
I mean,
Feels like it could have been pretty visible.
I don't think, to be perfectly fair, Maddie, I don't think it was just a full ship. I think I just found part of it.
I'm picturing the full ship.
The full ship.
It's ready to go. Like if you bring it out of the water, pop it on top.
Just let it dry out
Ready
a
to
bit for a
go.
bit, do you reckon? Because it's probably a bit
It's
waterlogged.
there floating. It's just
Sitting there. Just sitting there. So yeah, that concludes the story of Captain William Kidd.
Well done, JP. But do you think that he was hard done by?
Ah, look.
Because it sounds like that he was doing a bit of murdering himself.
Well,
For example,
he did a murder.
An eye for an eye, a bucket for a bucket.
He did one murder. I mean, that's
But he did a bit of piracy, though.
Yeah, I think he was probably a little bit spineless in that he was like, guys, just like me. And they were like, nah. You know? That's what I think. Nah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because
thoughts.
it's such a different time. It's because they let him do so, like, the lines they draw. This is fine. This is worthy of you being dead.
I like the idea of licensed pirates, though. That's super funny to me.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Anyway, so yep, that's my report, which brings us to the end of our first week back in the studio.
Oh, what a way to come back to the studio.
Yep.
Bit of piracy, couple of buckets. It's all happening.
Shitting in cannons.
So
Shit
good.
cannon.
Poop cannons.
I love pirates. I love the story. I love
So I'm going
pirate
to call my
stories.
butt from now on, Matt.
Your poop cannon.
My poop cannon.
Nah.
Don't reckon?
I don't reckon.
Yep, the old poop cannon's a bit backed up. Just got to take it out back. Get the bowl out of there.
Fire in the hole.
That's what I was trying to think of, and I couldn't think of what the phrase was. I was going to be like, land home?
That's
Left
a different,
Oh,
a different term.
4.
that's good.
It's a violent shot. Shots fired.
Anyway, we need to do what we do at the end of every episode.
Which is thank some lovely people that support our show through Patreon, patreon.com/dogoonpod. You make the episodes possible for us to keep happening every single week. And
we
like
keep
to
happening.
Oh, yeah. And we like to thank one person from each episode.
What? Do you mean one person each?
And I would like to thank James Bond. That's the person I'd like to thank from a few.
I would like to thank
months ago?
Queen Elizabeth. Matt?
Matt, who would you like to thank from an episode?
Say Willie Wills.
Ah,
From
yeah.
You from episode 2.
Great. Okay, well, that's us then. And
Actually, episode 4, Dave.
good
That's
night.
right. Episode 5. Anyway,
Oh,
whatever.
Who cares?
Certainly, I don't.
No one here does. Dave, kick it
so
off.
what we do is we actually thank one person each from our Patreon, and I would like to thank someone that is from North Hollywood, California.
What?
Imagine putting that on your address. You're filling out forms.
I hope it's
North
Brad Pitt.
Hollywood.
Yeah, is it Brad Pitt?
It is the original bad boy himself. No, he's done the dogs. He's done the trucks.
He's done the dog. Get out of my head,
Oh my
Matt.
God. I'm so sorry to this guy.
Only you and
Oh,
I
good.
would have thought that.
Hollywood bad boy or bad girl.
Oh.
I'd like to thank Chase Takow,
That's a
Takow.
great
which
name.
is an incredible, like, ready for an action movie.
Oh, fantastic.
Maybe
So
they
good.
are. Maybe they're an aspiring actor
Definitely.
or accomplished actor that I am not
Did you
aware
say inspiring
Yeah, he
actor
did.
or
Which is
aspiring?
also true,
Yeah,
Matt.
yeah, I bet. No, I just wasn't sure which angle he was
of. I'm
going
inspired
Yeah.
by Chase Takow. Thank you so much for your support.
in. Chase Takow.
We
That is a sick name.
we would love to go to North Hollywood, wouldn't we, and do an episode?
Oh
Yes.
my God, yes, absolutely.
What? I don't know. I know Hollywood. I don't know what North Hollywood is. That where the Fresh Prince lived? Is that Bel Air?
I'm actually sure.
I'm just banging things into everything. It's fine. I'm a professional. I would like to thank someone as well, if that's
Oh.
okay with you.
Yeah, that'd be
do you
great.
mind?
I'm into it.
Would you like that?
I'd love it.
Okay, great. I would like to thank from all the way from Wyoming.
Oh.
What do you know about Wyoming?
It starts with a W.
What's a big? Is that a town or a state?
Why are you asking me these questions?
Oh, I'm just curious. David, no, because he knows about geography. I wasn't really asking you. Dave, Wyoming.
I think.
I know Wyoming Ryder is quite a good actress.
Oh, shocker. Well, I think it's a state, but it's probably also because they all have different ones. But is that the state name? Is that written there?
Yes.
All the way from Wyoming.
Fuck. I'm so
Wyoming,
sorry.
It feels like I should know something about Wyoming.
Okay, well, can I just thank the person
Yes.
who probably knows heaps about Wyoming because
Oh, we should ask
she
them.
lives there? I would like to thank Amber McDaniel.
Oh my God, is this the best name ever, Jay?
That's such a good name, right? Amber McDaniel. Are you looking up Wyoming now, are you?
No.
You are a little bit, aren't you? For
There is
Amber?
a Wyoming in Australia as well. Interesting.
I think they have a massive Elvis lookalike festival. Is that right? Is that correct? Am I
Dave, that was very quick.
talking out of turn?
Matt was
Do you
not
know the
listening.
capital of
Fuck.
Wyoming?
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
That's
Oh,
where
Cheyenne.
I'm pretty sure that's where Amber's from. Have a
Is
look.
that you would pronounce that Cheyenne?
Oh my
Yep.
God. Stop insulting Amber's.
I'm not insulting her.
I
I'm loving
feel-
every minute of
I
it.
feel like I would be. Anyway, thank you so much, Amber. You're an absolute champion. Thank
You're
you.
a legend.
If you guys don't mind, can I thank someone as well?
Oh
I'm
my
afraid
goodness.
that's all we have time for.
I want to complete the triptych.
Triptych. Matt, please. I would love for you to thank someone.
I'd love to thank this guy's name starts
Mm-hmm.
with a blaze of glory, and it finishes in the most common name in the world. But
Right, okay.
maybe not the most common
Start
name in the world,
strong.
but maybe the most common name in
Bon
Australia.
Jovi.
Curtis
Oh.
Smith.
Ah, Curtis is fun. Smith
Yeah.
is also fun.
It's fun.
Have you seen the
Sounds
film
like
Mr. and Mrs. Smith? That's a fun film.
This
I
guy's,
have.
This guy's British. He's from Dorset. If I don't know if that's how
I
their
don't
accent
think
is.
that
Dorset,
I don't think that's right.
isn't it?
Nah.
I'm from
Oh.
Curtis Smith from Dorset.
Are you doing Hot Fuzz right now?
Not sure.
That's you kind of are. Anyway,
Curtis Smith from Dorset.
yeah, that's
it's
all right.
fun.
Good stuff.
Let me know if that's right, Curtis.
Thanks, Curtis.
Did I nail it? Smithy, Smith Dog.
Smith dog.
Hey, are you? I would love to know if you're okay with. It feels like you've sort of got the short straw having me be the one to thank you. I bet you wanted Dave. And I bet you could
Should we
Dave.
just get Dave to do all of them?
We
now?
will start taking requests on
No,
who we'd
that's
like to
too
thank us.
complicated.
I know, it's so
That's
hard.
so hard.
Dave, can you just come up with a nice little play on words for Curtis?
Well, that's
Smith,
not fair
please?
because Amber didn't get one then.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is too much.
Amber, I'll never wait to give Amber a compliment.
What?
Amber's it means it's yellow on the traffic lights.
Oh my God, that was so dumb.
Or
No, it was dumb.
I would like to thank Curtis for paying us the courtesy
Ah,
of
there we
supporting
go.
the
See?
show.
Leave it to Dave. I touched Dave's hand then accidentally. Sorry, Dave.
That's fine. Enjoyed it.
Anyway, stop, Matt, stop. You're doing your thinking face. You've done enough damage. That's the end. We're done.
I've just noticed
Oh,
that Amber
no.
might also be Aaron McDaniel. So I'd also like to make sure Aaron gets his love too.
Okay, thanks,
Amber and
Aaron.
Aaron.
Stop winking at Dave.
I will not.
I'm giving Matt the good job signal, which
Dave,
is similar to the James Bond thing we discussed earlier.
Please wrap it up because
that is the end of the show. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget you can get in contact with us at any time at Do Go On Pod for Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can get in contact, email dogoonpod@gmail.com, patreon.com/dogoonpod if you would like Matt to thank you, and possibly a second name that probably has nothing to do with your name, like Aaron. And if you want to support the show, you can check out tipsyelves.com if you would like to dress like I dress. And use the code DoGoOn, capital letter for each of the words, for 20% off. And it helps the show. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's a winner, baby.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
The amber one that I said was definitely better than the courtesy one, just to let everyone. I think people at home will agree with that strongly.
No.
I'd like to pay the listener the courtesy by wrapping up this episode. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week with another report, but until then, we will say goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, if I could just have your attention for just a few moments.
Matt.
Get onto us at Do Go On Pod on all these social medias. I love you all.
Dave already did that.
Look, I'm just saying get onto us and address it to me.
Bye has to be the last thing they hear, so hurry up and wrap up.
Laters.
Bye.